So, Ilana, what I've been wanting to ask you, how in the world did you get the idea to do this Rubenfeld Synergy stuff? And I'll put my mic down and listen for a while.
Well, I gotta pace a little, all right? I'll pace. All right, let's see. I was telling Antra that her experience, except I was younger than she was, she came to this country when she was 9 and could not speak the language. And I came to this country when I was 6 and could not speak the language. And I think, when I think about that experience, I am struck by the fact that everything in life has a reason, you know? And that's so interesting to me because I couldn't understand English and was thrown into PS 93. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's a block away from Joan of Arc Junior High School of Music and Art. Do I have any recognition? All right, thank God. All right. So, but here we were, fresh from the Middle East, and no speaking English at all, going from a place of sand and palm trees and Mediterranean to 94th Street between Broadway and Amsterdam. So here I'm going to school every day and sitting in class and not understanding anything. So I think it started then, when I was watching every movement, gesture of the eyes, every intentionality of the teacher to see what they were saying. What did they mean? What were they saying to me? And I think early on I really got that the body tells the truth, because I could tell by their tone or the way they looked, they were saying one thing, but their bodies were saying another. And I'm sure that happened to you on some level, because we have to do something when you don't understand. You have to go to other senses. And so I really recall very clearly now, when I think about it and have thought about it before, that survival, it was a matter of survival. And you do some very interesting things when you have to survive. And it's good. Children have what they do to survive, what we do. Not knowing the language, I have a lot of empathy for displaced people who go from one country to another or don't understand. So it's really quite interesting how your own life experience. And I do believe, I saw that in my own teachers, and I see that in me, and I see that in you, that each one of us comes to a life calling from a healing crisis, a dramatic shift in life. I remembered my grandfather dying, and I remembered getting on the bus to Jerusalem and everyone had guns, and then I remember 94th Street. 4, 5, 6. Certain things just, and it's fascinating to watch my niece and nephew. What do they remember and what they don't in their life? And this, I think, began a whole world of using other senses, because words did not make sense. And then to top it off, Andre, in my home, they spoke Russian. So Hebrew, Russian, and then English. So it's very, very strange, very strange.
Ilana, did you begin your music before you were 6 or after?
Well, what's very interesting for me in this early trauma of moving, the music cuts through all language. So, of course, I gravitated to music because I loved music, and it didn't have to have words. So that's nice, although we had lullabies. So that's very, very important. The music, let's see, what got me, a woman, to want to do conducting? I've thought about that. Now that's weird. It's strange to be 15, 16-year-old female playing the piano, viola, oboe, and I want to conduct. And I'm thinking, and I remember, yeah, I know what happened. I'm remembering it now. I know what happened. I was 15 years old, and I belonged to a youth choir. And we sang all these folk songs from all different countries. And we had this marvelous musician conductor. He was outrageous. And we sang in 2 parts and 3 parts and 4 parts. He got deathly sick a week and a half before a concert. And I got a call, I was 16, and they said, well, you go to music and art, you conduct it. I said, what? You conduct it. So I ran home with the music because I knew my part, but I didn't know anybody else's part. I knew my part. I could sing it and tolerate those singing next to me, but I didn't know what they were singing. So I sat home and looked at the piano, and I did one voice at a time, over and over and over again. Then I put the 2 voices together, over and over and over again, and then the 3, and then the 4, and then 4, 4. Stop. And could I sing all the 4 parts? And could I know? And this I did every day and every day. And then I got to rehearsal, and the magic, the hands, yeah, magic. Again, there was, when you conduct, you can't yell out, here comes the next word. It's not a sing-along, you know. It's not a sing-along. You just do the thing, and then you use your hands and your face have to really say everything that you want to get. And I remember when I put my hands down, the sound came. And everyone was singing, they're looking at me, they're singing. And I went, wait a minute. And I looked at the music, and I knew that there were markings, loud, soft, and that I loved these songs. Luckily, I knew them well. And then I began to relax, and you know that feeling, and then start to cue, and the sopranos came in, and the basses, and the altos. They did it. I mean, they were already ready for the concert. I mean, they did it. And it was magical, hearing all of it at the same time. I came from a place, my grounding was that one part. And now I was put in a position to hear all the parts. And the whole of all the parts was like the 7th dimension. I mean, it was thrilling to hear all the parts. And then if I did this, they got soft. If I did that, they got loud. The control part of me just went ape shit. It was ape shit. I just loved it. I just loved it. I said, holy mackerel. I get to hear all the parts, and I get to tell people sing loud and soft, and you come in there and you go out there and there, and you know, like the way Bernie and Millie did in the opening. It was a gas. So that day I remember saying, that's what I want to do. I don't want to do one part. I don't want to specialize and just do, what are you going to do? You're going to write. And we were all talking about which college we were going to go to, what we were going to do. And I want to do something that involves people, and I want to do something that involves lots of parts. Well, I sure picked it. Lots of people, lots of parts, and it's not portable. You can't take an orchestra with you, a chorus with you. You know, you can't take those things with you. And when you rehearse, you need the people. So that started early training me people doing that with people. So it's amazing, not understanding any language and really watching bodies, and then getting into a field that really teaches you to hold, to cradle and to hold a piece of music. So it was quite an upbringing, getting street smarts, understanding the language, survival. Street, when you say New Yorkers know how to survive. We do. And I think everybody in different parts of the world know that. They know that when you have to. I was wondering, what the hell a woman conductor. But as determined, all that determination to get this out there, I was also determined to get that to happen. Except I was against how should we say it, Barbara? The whole prejudice, such prejudice against women conductors. Even though there's a lot of prejudice with women healers, that's why there was witch hunts in medieval days. That's why women who were the doctors and the healers, it's documented, we have it, were eliminated. And allopathic medicine didn't start until they got all the women healers, cleaned up and out. And so it was like, in this field, you felt that. There was just no way. You could be really great, and there was no way. And there was no women playing in any of the orchestras at that time. And luckily, I belonged to a Jewish scout organization that fed that part of me, that said, okay, you're a woman, but be proud of it. You could drive a tractor. You could go work the farm, eh? Remember, you could do that. You know, but when you got to the kibbutz to do that, they put me in the kitchen. I said, where's the tractor? No, we're doing the kitchen. Well, I can clean a kitchen back at home. I don't want to clean a gigantic kitchen for 500 people. I came here to drive the tractor, and I was so obstinate that they let me. Very interesting to coming back again to the States and facing such prejudice. And it's not over. It's not over. It's a very interesting position to be in bringing in what people believed until recently, a fairly drastic revolutionary approach. I don't think so, and my good friends who are analysts don't think so. Even though they don't use touch, they see the way we work. But until recently, until the body-mind is really taking off now, I'm still, in that position of bridging, always bridging. And I remember, I guess, in all the groups I was in as a teenager, I was always the moderator. I was always trying to bring different factions together, listen to each other. What are you saying? And the same thing with the body workers here. I mean, they said I shouldn't be doing any of this. And the verbal people were saying, you're nuts to be touching. This is terrible what you're doing. You're going to go to jail. This is going on for 35 years. The legal stuff is they were doing that with me for years and years. And again, to have faith that this model of healing is really tapping into the spiral energy of the universe. And that by learning this, we're opening channels by not using talk, but by using listening hands and touch. We open our hearts to something that's here already, and that we can take it in and let it pass through. When you're a conductor, you take a Bach or a Mozart, and you are only the messenger for the piece. You're the messenger for what's written there, and you try your best to have the integrity to deliver it. And I feel this way about Rubenfeld Synergy, like I'm a messenger. I'm coming through with this, and I hope I do such a good job that I don't have to come back and do it again. I don't know about past lives, but I felt like when I arrived at this, I had done it. That I had done it many times before. I don't know, the feeling is, it's so simple. One person could do both. Why is this such a complicated concept? What is so complicated? Well, explain why it's complicated. So you have to, how are you going to, okay, so I spend time learning how to put it together like I did when I had to do the choir. One part at a time until they all come together. And they're in harmony or disharmony, but I can see the whole thing. Maestro, get ready. Come on, arms are up. Spread, arms are up. Get lots of forearm aerobic. Go for it. Ready? Take a breath. You're going to do a very important performance. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's getting louder. 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 Fantastic. Little ones. It's very toot, toot, toot. It's kind of toot. A little bit. More. Okay, ready. From the belly. Ready. Big. Hallelujah. 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 So each time you have those things ignited in you, it starts that. Remember, we're here for a higher purpose. And this is a higher, lower, out, whatever. This is a big vessel. And the more we are in this vessel, the more healing hands that we heal ourselves, and each one of us ripple to hundreds of other people. That's what counts. That's what counts, is the healing, using the work as a channel of healing and care and healing the heart and emotions of a whole person and ourselves in the process. To me, that's what counts. And you are living evidence. And I'm so glad to be alive to see you here. Very, very glad.